We are back with yet another edition of the Patriots Only Please podcast. As usual, I'm your co-host, Jeff C., and I'm joined today with
Solely.
Mr. Soley. And you may notice that there's a third panel here. We have a very, very special guest. I'd like to welcome Lisa Noeth, who is representing Asian Americans for Trump. And you also have a few other, illustrious titles as well and things that you do. So I would love to give you the floor and kind of talk about what you do and the work that you've been doing, particularly in this election cycle, and what that all means for us going forward as Trump supporters. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mike and Jeff, for the invite. I really appreciate this. So my name is Lisa Noeth. I'm an op-ed writer for Right Side Broadcasting, also known as RSBN. This is Trump's favorite network that he always keeps tweeting about over on X.
Big fans.
Yes. And I'm also an aspiring Asian American political commentator right now. So I try to go on air or different podcasts. I am also a panelist for a weekly podcast called Open Forum. And this podcast is a Filipino conservative podcast that is hosted by Joe Coy's mom, so the comedian. So this is really cool. This is weekly, Mondays at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live. I'll drop a link to that as well. I also have my business too. I'm a business immigration consultant. So basically, I specialize in visas for extraordinary ability, which means that, you're an entrepreneur, you're a scientist, you're in technology, you're in education, you're pretty much coming to the country legally. That's the key word, to work and to bring money into the economy and to create jobs. And I'm pretty much here now as Asian Americans for Trump leader in this coalition that I'm trying to gather all the Asian Americans of different backgrounds, different ages, different parts of the country to really bring the message together that we are for President Trump. No matter who you are and where you came from, I am here to tell everyone's stories, especially when I'm writing and doing my op-eds or I'm doing on-air commentary right now. I want to make sure that we have a voice, and it's loud too, because the fact that with Asian Americans, we've been kind of forgotten in this entire election. So this is where I want to wake up the lions.
So that is such an incredible background, and thank you so much for everything that you do. I mean, God, you're certainly keeping busy out there. What got you involved in this cause? Why this particularly? Was there one incident that said, listen, I gotta, or what is it kind of an overall sense that, like you said, the Asian American community has kind of been a little ignored during this? Like, give me your take. What got you started and what keeps you going with all this?
Oh my gosh, it's a lot. Okay, so my background real quick is that graduated from NYU in grad school in 2016. My husband and we've been visiting Vegas all these years, and we were like, we're priced out of New York. We can't afford to buy anything in New York after I graduated and we got married. So we decided spontaneously, okay, we're going to move out to Vegas and go get a condo that we've never seen. And that was when I reached out to the Trump campaign over here in 2016. And I said, oh, okay, I would like to volunteer. What do you guys need help with? I didn't realize that there was a big need for Asian American outreach, especially to engage the Asian community here. So Nevada makes up about 10% is the Asian American population, and more than half of the 10% of the population here in Nevada, and especially in Las Vegas alone, half of it is Filipino. And my background, both my parents, they immigrated here legally to the Philippines. That's what I keep trying to tell people, legally to work and live the American dream. And once I realized there was that need back in 2016, it's been on since 2016, 2020. And now here we are in 2024, where I want to do something about it. I don't want to just stay silent. It's because the fact that the Kamala and the Democrats, they're very organized when it comes to gathering and bringing people together. I need that, especially to see the Asian American community, because I always get asked all the time, how come, we're not represented? And I'm trying to put it together as best as I can, because I truly believe that especially here in Nevada, being a swing state, that we have 6 electoral votes up for grabs with, we have a big population, especially here in Chinatown, that I want to make sure that we reach out to them. We specifically start asking them questions. And this is what I do. I wear a Trump shirt all the time, everywhere I go right now, and the hat too as well. Once I like, especially if I go in the Chinatown area and then people will ask me like, why are you voting for President Trump? I'll be straight and ask them this question: are you doing better now, or were you better off 4 years ago? You had way more money in your pockets 4 years ago. We had no wars. The fact that the economy was booming, people were doing well. And then all I have to tell people to convince people, especially the far left, like in the Filipino community, when I comment on Instagram or TikTok, I said, oh yeah, why don't you just go look at the grocery prices, look at the gas prices right now, look at even insurance, housing, everything has gone up.
Yes.
So I'm trying my best also to reach out, especially I feel like we're losing the young Asian Americans right now to the left. It's because they're brainwashed in college and the media, especially, and social media, all the algorithms that they're seeing that it's favored towards like the Democrats right now. That's who I'm trying to get to say that, you know what? I want to be courageous. I want to be brave. The fact that President Trump, like a second assassination attempt, and he's still going, he's still standing, he's saying never surrender. So I'm going to keep fighting, because we only have 49 days left now until the election.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's been, and it's funny, a lot of the things that you talk about, it's all things that are felt in any community, right? I mean, especially, the young people seem to be kind of, leaning as they normally do to the left. But what kind of response have you gotten? I mean, obviously it can be sometimes jarring if you walk in, wearing the Trump shirt and, kind of waving the flag. What kind of response have you been getting? Is it largely favorable? Are you getting a lot of pushback? Like what's the landscape looking like out there for you in the streets?
See, I enjoy it because I put on sunglasses, so people don't realize I'm seeing your reaction when I'm an Asian American and I'm a woman. The fact that I am openly outspoken, that I'm wearing shirts, it's campaign season time. It's time to take back our country. I see people giving me dirty looks. I was at a rest stop in Victorville about to go to the women's bathroom. And of course, a leftist with pink hair, like I was about to open the door and she saw my hat. I was wearing it and she was like, ooh, like the reaction was just priceless. That it's so fun but then, believe it or not, okay, this is untraditional for a Republican. I'm big on drug policy reform and cannabis as well. So I was walking out of a dispensary over here and I had the Never Surrender t-shirt on, and black dude with dreads, like, I was walking right out. He was walking right in. He's like, oh my God, Trump's the man. Count me in. I love your shirt. So there are true patriots, regardless of who you are. They're out here. Then the fact that, I think what's going to carry this election is a pissed off silent majority.
1,000%. 1,000%. And it's wonderful. It's so wonderful that we can throw it back in their faces that, hey, look, our coalition is comprised of everybody. Everybody is behind this mission. It's about taking America back and being America first. And that resonates whether you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Jewish, whatever, whoever you are, orange, pink, whatever color you are, it doesn't matter. I mean, that resonates with everybody. And I think that I love the fact that somebody like you or a guy with, a black dude with dreads coming out of the dispensary holding a huge doobie is like, Trump's the man. Like that's exactly, it flies in the face of what I think and Soli, this as well as anybody. I've been talking about how the Republicans have had a marketing and an image problem for decades. And I think this is great because we're truly seeing like the real, like this is what the real constituency looks like. And anybody that's going to sit here and say, oh, well, come on, Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala. Well, that's the Republican Party of 20 years ago, the old white men Republican warmongering party. That is not today's right wing. So I love that you are putting a face to that. That's incredible. I love that. So thank you so much for everything you do. So tell us a little more about, but what can we expect? Like, how has the reaction been? Is it largely positive when you talk to people? Do you think you're changing any hearts and minds? Has it been difficult? Is it even a conversation they're willing to have? Like, what's the reaction been?
Even like I have a story too. So I was wearing the Never Surrender shirt over at the airport last week because I went over to RSBN Studios. So I still say McCarran, okay, by the way. But anyway, I was at
Sure.
Harry Reid at a bar, whatever. I was at an airport bar over there. I do. I just don't feel right about it. But anyway, I was at an airport bar, a bar at the airport over there, and bartender, he's from Australia. He saw my shirt. He started talking. And it actually drove a really good conversation that he said that, being from Australia and Victoria, they were kind of like a test state for the NWO and the globalists with all the strict lockdowns from COVID. And we got into this conversation where he was like, there are a lot of people that I'm talking to right now that you are one of the only ones I've seen that wears a Trump shirt. But he said a lot of people feel the same way I do and you do, that, we have a country to save. If President Trump doesn't win, it's going to be freedom versus communism too. And the other thing too that I try to reiterate when I'm talking to people, policies over feelings. The fact that I am getting tired of the left, especially we watched this at the debate with Kamala, that she is driving people's emotions to react versus talking about her policies of zero, nothing. But then I'm telling people, like, do you want zero inflation? Do you want more jobs created? Do you want low unemployment rates? Do you want no wars? That's what I'm trying to resonate when I'm talking to people in the street. And then sometimes I'll bring Trump stickers too, but it's really fun though that I'm getting a reaction from all different kinds of people, like even random in the casino too, like a construction guy, he told me, he's like, I've never voted Republican before, but it's because of President Trump. And, the fact that it's been so bad the last 3.5 years, he said, I'm walking away from the Democrat Party. And that's what we need. That's what I believe, that there are people that are just fed up already with Biden's policies. And Kamala is going to be even worse as Kamala, because she's going to turn the entire country into California.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, that is, it's again, we love the fact that you are putting a face to this and all of the work that you're doing. Mr. Soley, Michael, I haven't even given you the chance to speak at all on this. I'm sure you've got tons of opinions on this.
I've been absorbing all this. So I actually connected with the Trump field office here in town. There's 3, and the one closest to my place on Trop and Rainbow, and I've been canvassing and knocking on doors. And that's been a really interesting experience to see, how people, the visceral reaction to seeing someone wearing a Trump hat knocking on your door asking. Now, the most of the folks that we're seeing were either voted for Trump in the 2016 cycle or did that, then were silent in the 2020 cycle. So they're either still active or were previously active Republicans or not knocking on Democrats' doors. But it's still pretty interesting to get in conversations with people about these subjects that we're talking about. And there's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of confusion, but there's a lot of folks for sure voting for Trump. And they realize if they missed out in 2020 for whatever reason, they can't afford to do it this time around. They've got to vote for Trump.
Well, listen, hey, if they want to make it about, if the left wants to make it an emotional issue, you know what makes me cry? Those really high exorbitant grocery prices. That brings me to absolute tears. You know what makes me joyful and happy? Paying less of a grocery bill and lower gas bills. So if they really want to bring it down to joy and feelings, I'm so joyful when my grocery bill is not that high or the gas bill's not that high.
Well, I'd say bring it back to truth. How about bringing it back to truth? I mean, you guys knew that Joe Biden had dementia in 2019. You've been lying to us for 4 years. I mean, just straight up lying about this guy's not fit to serve. Bless his heart. I hope he's okay. I hope he gets the treatment that he needs, but he's not fit to run the country and hasn't been ever. I mean,
who is running the country right now?
Well, exactly. So that to me is that's disqualifying on its face. That's disqualifying of Kamala. She knew the entire time that Biden wasn't really in charge, wasn't really her boss, and said nothing. And she kept going on camera and saying, "Joe and I are great. Looking forward to our second term. He's firing on all pistons. He's in perfect health." Just
Yeah.
That's called misinformation, which, as you know, on TikTok, I get strikes all the time for misinformation by saying exactly what I just said. What I just said on TikTok, I would get kicked off, and they would say it's misinformation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that's what I'm seeing too, by the way. Like, I have the following on Instagram and also with TikTok. Like, the left, for some reason, you throw these facts at them, and they're going to continue to keep denying all these claims that Biden has dementia. Oh, that we're going right behind Kamala. You guys didn't even vote for her, like in an open primary at all. Like, you guys are the definition of cheap, and also the fact that this is communism. We're heading towards. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, or people flag my account all the time, like dilly dally and telling me off or whatever. I don't care. I'm trying to say the truth, and whether you like it or not, I want my country back. I want the next generation to grow up. My nieces, my nephews, my cousins. I want all of them to grow up in a better America than what we're living in right now.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm standing up.
Absolutely. And thank goodness for you doing that too. So it's interesting to know that you're also getting hit with the cold hand of censorship as well with some of these platforms, because I know Soli, you certainly have. Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. So, well, listen, I know you're keeping pretty busy. So where can people find you? You sent me a link that I'm gonna post up here. rsbnnetwork.com/author/Lisa Noeth, nvgmail.com. If you can remember that link, that is a link to go to check out your writing.
Take a screenshot, guys. Screenshot.
Well, and we'll put this in the show notes as well. So, but yes, we like to say Lisa knoweth everything about what's going on in the Asians for Trump community. So that is awesome. And of course, you can always like and follow and subscribe. And just let me get Surrender Sister LV. That's you, right? Fantastic. So you're gonna get likes and follows and subscribes from us two knuckleheads shortly later on today. But we want to thank you so much for the time. Anything else that you think our audience or anybody should know about what you're doing, the work you're doing, or anywhere we can go support you?
Car parade. I want to plan the biggest car parade wrapping around 215, the entire circle, the entire way, November 2nd. I'm going to make it happen. I want to bring Patriots from all over Vegas and come together, which show our American pride, which show the fact that we're going to vote for President Trump. Like, let's make this the biggest one in the country. It's going to happen.
Hey, let's do it. Let's bring some lowriders. Let's pump some, absolutely. Let's make it a whole thing. Let's do a whole, count us in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Lisa, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with everything. You are doing great work out there, and you have our support. And if you want us to, send us any other links or anything, if you do create, a proper website, send that our way. Sure. And I will certainly make sure that we link that and drive as much traffic as we possibly can over to you and get you as much support as you need. Thank you so much. All right. So I know you got to hop to your next thing, so we will bid you adieu and thank you so much for your time.
Keep on trumping.
Yes, let's make America great again. Fight.
Absolutely, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Lisa doing the Lord's work out there, convincing, talking to her fellow Asian pop. I mean, that is, absolutely well done.
Awesome.
So what is your take? I mean, geez, since we last spoke just a couple of days ago, there's been a second attempt on Trump's life. And then I found, I don't know if it was connected with this latest attempt, but there was a whole bag of explosives or something that was found as well. So I mean, this is getting real again.
It's getting real. It's getting real again. There's a lot of misinformation as well as in real time as these things are happening. It turns out the explosives were sent from people from different countries. They weren't sent internally. I mean, there's the way the news works now is they tell you what happened and then they with no context. You've got to sort of sift through the nonsense. So. The second assassination attempt is ridiculous. It never should have happened. The guy was there for 10 hours with an AK-47 standing in plain sight. I mean, come on. if Trump's in that zip code, no one should have loaded weapons. I mean, it's astounding to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's also a wake up call to how serious this really is, guys. I mean, we really need to if you're not registered to vote, make sure you are. Please do what we're doing. Talk to your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors. Get people to vote. Get people to wake up, because I think they're going to try again. Why wouldn't they? They failed
Absolutely.
twice. Why wouldn't they?
Not?
And when I say they, I mean there are people that are just random mentally ill folks, but the left is doing everything they can to drum up as much political rhetoric to make it. I mean, they're calling Trump an enemy of the state. They're treating him like an enemy of the state.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So in their minds, if you're on their side, it's patriotic to take him out. It's patriotic to stop this madness. And that's exactly what happens when we have a weak president, a one-sided federal government, and just career politicians that are corrupt to the core. Because a real Democratic president would say, enough. Trump gets full. I mean, he's going to be in a submarine 24/7 until November 6th. Like, we're going to make sure this guy's safe. And it's the exact opposite.
Of course. And look, they'll do whatever they can, whether that's a like you said, inspiring a lone nut job to go do their dirty work for them, or if it's through however deep you want to go down that rabbit hole of some sort of coordinated attempt, on official or otherwise. They're going to do whatever they can. And look, even after the election, let's, hopefully he makes it through, he makes it in. They're going to do everything they can to, discredit that and deny that and prevent him from getting sworn in. And even if he gets in legally and gets sworn in, the peaceful transition of power, which will be interesting to see how they handle the peaceful transition of power, of course, because what it's tyrannical if he talks about it, but we're actually going to prevent it from happening. Or they could very well just say, okay, let the mostly peaceful protest, ensue. Let them burn up every major city out there across America. And, the second Trump has to, call in, say, the National Guard to restore law and order. See, he's attacking his own people. So they're going to do everything they can at every turn. It doesn't end with Trump getting elected. It begins with Trump getting elected, or reelected. So,
but let's pray that it begins. Let's pray that it does begin, because if it doesn't, we all need to pray for something else.
Absolutely. Look, it's at this point, it's kind of pick your poison, right? I mean, it's like, God forbid the left gets in and continues the way we've been going, and it just gets worse and worse. Or, you go through the growing pains of bringing Trump back in and letting him straighten things out for 4 years, and then hopefully he can just kind of ride off into the sunset, enjoy his final years.
Hopefully in those 4 years too, he'll build an even bigger coalition of conservatives like Vivek and JD Vance, and sort of recreate the MAGA philosophy, and he can't shoulder that whole thing his entire life. He's got
and he isn't, which is great, because now you're starting to see more of those people. So you're starting to see the Viveks and the Tulsi Gabbards, and a real coalition of people from all sides joining together for this, Make America Great, this MAGA movement. It's not about the one guy, and it's not about a particular party. It's about a coalition of people from all racial, socioeconomic backgrounds,
Latinos, Blexit, everybody. Exactly.
Everybody.
That's what we're doing. We're doing it now. The Democrats aren't doing that. The Democrats have essentially said, if you're voting for Trump, we don't want anything to do with you. And that's half the country. That's half the country. They literally told half the country, get lost.
Yeah.
And that's not cool. It's a terrible example for our children. I mean, Obama used to say again and again, we're not the red states, we're not the blue states, we're the United States. They're no longer that party. They're now the party of division. Yeah,
absolutely. So, I mean, hey, listen, in a certain era, them's fighting words, I mean, basically telling half the country. So we don't want the country to head down in that direction, and try as they might, they're gonna try everything they can to stop the man. And if they can't stop the man, then it's going to be a lot harder to stop the movement, because then you're not just going up against one guy. You're going up against millions and millions of people who are going to push back. So we'll see how all of this unfolds. But I mean, people like Lisa and and the people that we've been meeting, the people you've been meeting out there in real life, it gives us hope that there's obviously there's clearly a lot of support. A guy like Trump doesn't get this far along without at least half the country behind him. So clearly the people, or a lot of the people, are pushing in this direction, want to get kind of course correct the ship that we're on at the moment. So it does make me hopeful. So I'm glad that there are people like Lisa out there, and hopefully we can just drum up more support as much as possible to make this as too big to rig, and just flood the system with legal, registered, official voters. And and I'm still on the side of I'm probably gonna bank that vote early.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Are you a Nate Silver believer?
I mean, look, as much as one can be with any prognosticator in the space here, no more than Alan, whatever the hell his name was, a couple weeks ago. So why? Has there been any movement? He's
as of September 16th, he's got Trump winning pretty clearly, pretty definitively in terms of electoral votes. Frank Luntz is leaning in that direction as well. But we'll see. Well, I mean, again, I don't place a lot of faith in these things, but at least it's telling that there's. I mean, if you look at the country, it's a map of the United States. It's all red.
We haven't seen much of a bump for Kamala after that, after the debate, and which is usually, again, I mean, elections come down to snapshots and sound bites. I mean, there's really there's no powerful soundbite that they can, put on repeat on her behalf, and anything that Trump says, even if they try to run with the whole dogs and cats thing. I mean, look, Trump is the master of, no press is bad press. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, somebody will spin it. They'll turn it into a meme. They'll make fun of it, whatever, and it just gets more people talking about an issue that, okay, Trump made it sound ridiculous, but, oh, now people look into it. Oh, I guess it really is kind of sort of true. There is some sort of basis in reality for that. So either way, Trump kind of wins the conversation at the end of the day. So again, it'll be very interesting to see how this shakes out. And I think Lisa was right. There's, as we've been saying, there's going to be people that kind of have that come to Jesus moment at the ballot box, and make that very personal decision that they're not going to tell any of their friends about, but they'll say, you know what, I had to do this because I had to, for myself, for my family.
Yeah, for my checkbook. For my bank account, I had to do this.
Absolutely. So anyway, yes. Anything? I've been going like a chicken with its head cut off here.
You were great. You were great today. I think we should wrap it up. I think we had a great episode, and I think that it's just time to get to work, guys. It's time to really. This is the last stretch here, and we can't let up. We have to fight, and we have to get Trump elected. And I think Nevada is turning redder as we speak, but I think it's still purple. And we want to deliver Nevada to Trump. So that's really our goal. This podcast, we believe that all politics is local. You bloom where you're planted. So if we can get more Nevadans to go to vote for Trump, vote for red down the ballot. We've done our job. So that's what we're shooting for this podcast. And between now and November 5th, we encourage all of you to do the same. Reach out to people and make sure they're registered to vote, and encourage them to vote early and bank that vote. Your vote is your voice, and we all need to speak up.
Yep, indeed. And while you're doing all of that, be sure to like and subscribe and follow us at patriotsonlyplease.com. Visit our website, of course, patriotsonlyplease.com. And of course, Patriots Only Please. That's where you find us. We're on the YouTubes, the Spotifys, the Apples, the Truth Socials, the Rumbles, the X's, the Instagrams, the TikToks. I don't know for how long, but for the TikToks. So we're all over the place. But that's where you find us. Patriots Only Please. And reach out, comment, let us know your thoughts. Let us know where you are. Talk to us. We would love to hear from you. So, with that, until next time, we are Patriots Only Please, and we will see you on the next one. So bye for now. As you like to say, keep on trumping, right?
Keep on trumping.
Love it. So long, folks.